Hi Granted Gang, hope you've had a good week so far. And talking of this week, do you know what? There's a special day this week, Claire.
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day. Claire's with me today because I've asked her along because on Wednesday, the 17th of March, 17th of March?
Yes.
It's St. Patrick's Day, and St. Patrick is
the patron saint of Ireland.
That's right. So everyone celebrates everything Irish on St. Patrick's Day. So we thought we would tell you an Irish story today because Claire's one of Ireland's best storytellers. And it's for everyone to enjoy at Granton, but especially those of us in the Granton family who are from Ireland. So Miss Busby, Miss Whelan, Miss Donnelly, Miss Craig, you have a great St. Patrick's Day. I hope I didn't leave anyone out.
I hope not.
No, but if I did, happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Right, this story is all about a giant. Actually, two giants.
Finn McCool and Ben O'Donnell.
So Finn McCool, he was the biggest of the Irish giants, and Ben O'Donnell, he was the biggest of the Scottish giants. And the thing is, we'll tell you the story and you'll find out.
Well, Finn's greatest strength lay in his thumb. So if ever he needed to find his way out of trouble, he would put his thumb against his tooth and he would know the way out of any situation. And he thought that he was never going to be beaten by any giant. I mean, all these striplings had risen up over the years and had said they would beat Finn, but none of them ever came to anything. And then he heard tell of this giant in Scotland, and what really got him worried was that this giant had a similar gift as Finn had, only his strength didn't lie in his thumb. This giant had his strength in his middle finger.
Well, here's what happened. Finn McCool, the biggest giant in Ireland, would go for a walk round the whole of Ireland in one day. The north, the east, the south, the west, and back home again. Actually, before he had his breakfast. But, as Claire was saying, there were stories that in Scotland there was a giant who was even bigger than Finn. And Finn thought, nobody's bigger than me. Ha! I'll go over to Scotland and I'll sort this giant out. So he went up to the Antrim coast in the north of Ireland, and he started to build a bridge made of great big blocks of stone. He carried them out and he started to put them into the water. And he built it up, and it's also called a causeway. That's what a bridge is called that goes out into the sea. So he built this causeway piece by piece by piece by piece, enormous big blocks of stone, and boom, boom, boom. And he started to walk out over the causeway, and he built it until he could see Scotland, the shore of Scotland. And he saw the mountains, and then, oh wait a minute, he saw something coming over the hill, and you know what it was? It was the giant Ben O'Donnell. He was so big, he was blocking out the sun. And Finn stopped and he looked and he thought, oh no, that giant is much bigger than me. Oh, I'd better go. And so he ran off as fast as he could. But Ben O'Donnell had spotted him. And he thought, whoa, that'll be that Finn McCool, the Irish giant, that says he's a bigger giant than me. Ha! Well, I tell you what, I see he's built me a stone bridge. I'll just take myself over to Ireland and sort him out. And so Ben O'Donnell started to stomp out across the bridge. But Finn, he ran as fast as he could all the way back home where his wife Oonagh was waiting.
What's wrong with you, Finn? You look frightened out of your life.
Oh, said Finn. Oh, Oonagh, that giant in Scotland, Ben O'Donnell, he's 4, 5, 6 times as tall as me. What am I going to do? He's coming this way.
There's more than strength to winning a fight. Come on now, I'll take over from here. You sit tight and calm yourself down. So Oonagh went bustling up into the attic, and she took down an old cradle with a hood on it and a big nightdress that had belonged to her mother and a cap, and she got some iron griddles, 6 of them, And she bustled down into the kitchen and she said, "Now, Finn, put on that nightdress and that cap and climb into that cradle."
"What?" said Finn. "Put on a nightdress and a bonnet and get in the cradle? What?
Yes.
What? I can't fit in there.
You're
If
no
you
longer
double over."
You're no longer Finn the giant. You're going to pretend to be your own baby. You're going to be Finn's baby. Get into the cradle, Finn.
"Baby Finn?"
"Yes, you climb in. I've got some bacon to do." So she went away into the kitchen and she made 12 loaves of bread, and in 6 of the loaves she placed the iron griddles so the bread would be hard as iron. Now the bread had just finished baking and the smell of it was wafted around the room when the door was knocked, and who should come in but Ben and Donner.
"Hey," said Ben and Donner. "Where's that Finn McCool? I'm here to sort him out. That wee squirt of a giant, I'm going to crush him like an ant." "Where is he? Come on, where is he?"
He heard that you were in Ireland and he's gone off to fight with you. It's just as well for you that you didn't meet him on the road, or your head would be on the top of his spear by now. You may sit down and wait for him. You've timed your arrival well. I've just got the bread ready. Will you take a cup of tea and a piece of bread?"
"Well, since I'm here," said Ben and Donner, "I'll have a cup of tea and some bread, and then I'll crush that Finn McCool."
"Well, I'm going to give you some good Irish hospitality before you die. Here you go," she said, and she gave him some tea, and she gave him one of the loaves, which was full of iron.
Oh, this looks delicious, right enough. "Oh, my tooth," said Ben and Donner, and he spat out half a great big giant tooth, because the iron in the bread has broken his tooth in half. "What kind of bread is that?"
"That's the only kind of bread that Finn McCool and his wee baby there will ever eat." And she passed Finn the baby a piece of bread without any iron in it, and Finn went, "That's lovely, Mammy." And Ben and Donner says,
"Oh, that wee baby, it's eating bread that's as hard as iron. What kind of baby is that?"
"Oh, sure, that's just Finn's baby. Stand up there, wee baby, and show yourself the son of your father." And Finn McCool stood up, pretending to be his baby, and said, "You're not very big, are you?" to Ben and Donner.
Now, Finn McCool, he was maybe half the size of Ben and Donner, but Ben and Donner thought, this baby, Finn McCool's baby, was half the size of him. What size would Finn McCool be? "Oh, that's an awfully big baby. And what about the teeth? Can I take a look at them? I want to see these teeth."
Put your hand in his mouth and feel his teeth, said Oonagh.
So, Ben and Donner took his hand and he reached out with that magical finger in the middle, and he looked into the baby's mouth. Well, it was Finn McCool's mouth, of course, and he saw these giant teeth and he went, "Look at that! Oh!"
And Finn McCool, who was pretending to be his baby, went, and he bit off Ben and Donner's middle finger. And Ben and Donner, he only stopped to gather up his broken teeth and take his broken finger, and he began to run down over the Antrim hills and down towards the causeway that Finn had built towards Scotland. And he began to run back home across the causeway.
But halfway across Ben and Donner, he stopped and he said, "I tell you what, if that's Finn McCool's baby, I'm the one, the real Finn McCool, coming across this stone bridge to Scotland. Here, I'll smash it up with my great big club. Bash, 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 bash." And he broke all the stone blocks that Finn McCool had built out into the sea, and they were bashed into wee pebbles, and they sank to the bottom of the water. And then Ben and Donner, he ran off and over the hills and away.
So if you come to Ireland today, you will only see the remains of the causeway that Finn built between Ireland and Scotland. But it's very much worth a visit. So come on over and visit any time you can. As soon as the lockdown is lifted, jump on the boat and come on across.
Well, there you go, everyone. That's our favourite story from Ireland. Have a happy St. Patrick's Day, and we'll see you all again soon for another story. Thanks, Claire.
Bye, Granton.
Bye, everyone. Oh, but hold on, everyone. Don't go away yet. Claire, we can't have a St. Patrick's Day without a few Irish songs.
We need a wee sing-song.
Yeah, but this year, of course, you're not allowed to sing along, but you can clap along with Claire. Okay, here we go. In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone. She wheeled her wheelbarrow through the streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. In a neat little town they call Belfast, apprentice to trade I was bound. Many's an hour of sweet happiness that I spent in that neat little town. Clap along, till bad misfortune came over me, caused me to stray from the land, far away from me friends and relations, follow the black velvet band. And her eyes, they shone like diamonds, you'd call her the queen of the land. And her hair, it hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. Pretty clear? Oh, clap along. I tell my ma when I go home, and the boys won't leave the girls alone. My hair stole my comb, that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, and she is a belle of a Belfast city. She is a courting 1, 2, 3. Please would you tell me who is she? Albert Mooney says he loves her, and all the boys are fighting for her, knocking the door, ringing the bell. Oh, my true love, are you well? Out she comes as white as snow, rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. Oh, Danny Mario says she'll dive, she dives with a bell with the whole day night. Tell my mom when I go home, the boys won't leave, the girls are home. Do my hair, stole my comb, that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, and she is a belle of Belfast City. She is a courting 1, 2, 3. Please would you tell me who is she? Let the wind and the rain and the hail blow high, snow comes tumbling from the sky. She's as nice as an apple pie, she'll get her own lad by and by. When she gets a lad of her own, she won't tell him until she comes home. Let the boys stay as they will, she loves still. And I tell my ma when I go home, the boys will leave the girls alone. My hair stole my comb, oh, that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, and she is a belle of a Belfast city. She is a courting 1, 2, 3. Please would you tell me who is she? Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Bye for now.